born of kings, better than diamond rings. Football,
Wildcats.
football,
Wildcats.
football,
Wildcats.
football,
I got it.
Wildcats.
football,
Wildcats.
football,
Welcome
Wildcats.
to the Married with Picks podcast, season 6, episode 1, week 1. Best week of the year, Steve. We got 18 weeks ahead of us.
I can't believe this is the 6th year. How have we been doing this for so long?
Remember when we started last year and I said it was the 4th year, and then I realized it was the 5th year?
I can't believe our contract hasn't gotten canceled yet.
All right. So we have 2 games already played. So we have 14 games to get through. Let's try not to drag it out too long.
The Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles are 1-0 after beating the Dallas Cowboys. Super Bowl champs.
I'm surprised you didn't
love
wear
it.
your Super Bowl champ shirt.
I had my Super Bowl champ shirt. It's coming next week. It was a little dirty. I wore it earlier this week and forgot to wash it.
Okay, great.
It's a little wrinkly. I knew you'd yell at me, so.
All right, so first game on the slate, you're on the wrong page, is Giants at Commanders. Commanders are favored by 5.5, or at least they were when I did this, and I didn't check. I didn't update. But I can do that now because I'm not using my phone for anything else. All right, so this is a division game. These teams played twice last year, obviously, and they were close games. But Washington did win both 21-18 and 27-22. So the Giants will have Russell Wilson at the helm. I was
Russ.
not a fan of Russell Wilson last year. You were a fan of Russell Wilson last year.
Huge.
Russell Wilson did come in for the Steelers around week 8, and he rattled off 4 straight wins before the wheels came off. I am expecting him to do the same here. Some moon balls to Malik Neighbors, maybe. So I am taking the points, and I'm taking the Giants.
Okay, so listen, there's going to be a couple themes this year of like retreads, like either coaches or players that, maybe were good once in the NFL, but, they changed teams over the last couple of years, and we might have ponied up to their possible success to basically huge failure. So this is one of those areas where I'm not going to fall for the Giants. A lot of people are high on the Giants this year coming in. I'm not exactly sure why. I guess because Daniel Jones is gone. But, we played this whole game with Russell Wilson in Denver. We played this whole game with Russell Wilson in Pittsburgh, and he sucked. Like, Russell Wilson's cooked. He's done. I don't want to hear from this guy anymore. Or let's just put it this way. I'm not going to fall for the banana in the tailpipe and go down the Russell Wilson road until he proves that he can win football games again in this league. And he's not the only one. There's going to be a couple other guys that we're talking about that until they prove that they can win, we're going to basically blatantly bet against them this year. Giants are one of them. 5.5 seems like a big line, and it's a division game. And you may, fall in love with the points in this game. Don't do it. The Giants are on the road. Russell Wilson starting. I do like the running back Tyrone Tracy. Like, he's pretty good, but I mean, that's pretty much all they have. Their offensive line still sucks. Neighbors is good.
They have,
but Russell Wilson's the one throwing him the ball. It's not any different than Neighbors not really doing much with Daniel Jones or Danny DeVito or
Neighbors?
Jimmy Cutlets, whoever the hell's throwing the ball.
What is Neighbors though? He's the downfield threat. He's the George Pickens with less attitude. So
somebody's got to throw him the ball.
Yeah,
we'll see if Russell can do it. Washington.
Look, I'm not saying they're going to win, but I'm taking the points. And this line has moved up to 6.5. I don't know if that changed your opinion.
No, I'm under a touchdown. I like it. It'd probably be at 7 by Sunday, but I would take 7 or lower. I just wouldn't give the hook on the other side of the 7.5. Listen, Washington. The only thing that scares me with Washington
their defense
is that
sucks.
Jaden Daniels is his sophomore year, right? And we've seen instances where successful quarterbacks their rookie year take a step back their second year. And that's what I'm looking at Jaden Daniels and going to keep a close eye on to make sure that he doesn't start falling backwards, right? But there's a lot of positive things in Washington, right? They made a trade for Laramie Tunsil, who was a Houston He was a Houston Texan. Before that, he was a Miami Dolphin, right?
Yeah. Takes a lot of penalties, pre-step penalties.
Well, Austin Eckler
Put you
is
behind the chains.
yeah, but that guy is better than anybody else that they have, right? And they're getting serious. They're addressing their needs with serious talent on the offensive line with Laramie Tunsil. He is one of the best offensive tackles in the league, right? You got Austin Eckler as running back. People are really high on this Ja'Cory Crosby Merritt. He's a 7th round pick out of, I think, Arizona. Mm-hmm. So, I want to see what he's going to do first. He's the trendy guy. We'll see what he can do. I like Eckler still. I think Eckler's still one of those guys that you can give the ball to and he can get those tough 3-4 yards.
I'm not
He's
sure
low
that's even
and
his
strong.
game. He's like the pass catcher. But anyway, all right, we spent too much time on this game. You're taking the Commanders, and I've got the Giants.
Austin Eckler's a running back who is low to the ground and
He's
stocky, and he can
5'8"
pile and drive into those those small hole areas. So
Okay.
I'm sure that's his game. He can catch
It's
the
not
ball.
his game. He's a pass catcher.
He's an all-around back. Yeah, he's a pass catcher, but he's an all-around.
He's not an every
back.
down back.
Okay, he might not be an every down back anymore because he's getting older, but the guy can do anything that you
he's
ask
getting
out
older
of
and
a
he's
running back out of the backfield.
Okay.
He can put his head down and get the tight yard situation. He can still catch the ball.
Moving on.
And he can run for 100 yards in the game.
Okay. I'd like to know the last time we did that.
Ew, you're picking the Giants?
Yeah.
What have the Giants done? Tell me what gives you confidence.
It's a division
What gives
game,
you confidence?
Okay. What
in the
happened
Giants?
last night?
What happened last night?
It was a close game. That's the way division games go.
Okay.
So, and Russell Wilson is better than Daniel Jones.
Is he?
And the Commanders' defense sucks. I've already stated my case.
All right.
Okay? We can agree to disagree.
I feel a bet coming on week 1 first game. I
You're
got
really going to make
Washington,
me go on the Giants.
6.5.
Fine.
Yeah, all right.
Fine.
Write it down.
All right. That's
First game. First.
6.5.
Yeah, let's keep track of this all year too. Let's have a season record of head up bets, $20 hollers. Jaclyn versus Steve.
All right. Good. That's your job.
All right.
Okay, next game is the Panthers at the Jaguars. Jaguars are 3.5 point favorites. And honestly, I want nothing to do with this game. There's way too many question marks for me. Panthers obviously were pretty bad last year to start. They got better as the season went on. They did let Adam Thielen go. And when that's like a major issue for a team potentially, it's probably not a good sign. But he was kind of Bryce Young's security blanket. So I think that does make a difference. Jaguars obviously have a new head coach in town. They hired the offensive coordinator from the Bucs, who was the second offensive coordinator from the Bucs to get a head coaching job after 1 year. So I don't know what he brings to the table. And we still don't really know what Trevor Lawrence is. So I wouldn't waste my money on this.
I like it. I take the Jags with a hook. I think you got to look at Bryce Young. But this is his 3rd year now, trying to establish himself. He's a rookie. No. Bryce Young was a rookie last year?
He was with CJ Stroud.
Yeah, right? That's 2 years. So
So,
this
yeah.
is his 3rd year that he's starting.
Yeah.
So look for him to get a little more structure and confidence going in this season. And getting the 0.5 point against the Jaguars, I know they're on the road. I like the hook. I think this is one of those games where this is probably bottom 3rd talent in the NFL. And I think you take the points and run with it.
Okay.
You can't be in love with it. It's a tough one, right? And you mentioned Thielen, what he ended up back in Minnesota.
Yep. Yep. All right. So next game, and this might get interesting. We have the Steelers at the Jets. The Steelers are 2.5 point favorites. So this is a dual revenge game. So we have Aaron Rodgers at quarterback for the Steelers. And Justin Fields at quarterback for the Jets. He played last year in Pittsburgh, in case you forgot. So I fell for Rodgers a few times last year and it burnt me. But I'm going to go back to the well at least this once. And I heard on the radio today, it was like a Jets fan say that it would be the most Jets thing to happen for Aaron Rodgers to go to Pittsburgh and be the old Aaron Rodgers. So I'm going to give him a chance here. I think the revenge narrative for me with Rodgers I got to do it.
So I don't know how the Steelers can put themselves in this position. I mean, they just did the same thing with Russell Wilson last year, taking the old guy who had success in the league and try to make him the heir apparent and win a championship.
Well, I think desperate
And
times.
now they get rid of him, and they're doing the same thing with. Well, why won't you? It just doesn't make any
call
sense.
for desperate measures.
So now you're taking Rodgers, who
Well, I
did the
wouldn't-
same, who ultimately fell on his face. So we just talked about the Giants and the Commanders and Russell Wilson. Shame on me, right? Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. That's what I'm saying here. We're not going to go in picking the Steelers in any of these games until Aaron Rodgers proves that he can actually throw a pigskin into the end zone and have it caught.
But do you not think that, like, career-wise, Aaron Rodgers is a better quarterback than Russell Wilson?
Yeah, I don't give a shit about the career. I'm talking about this Sunday. What's the
Okay.
guy done in the last 2 years? He didn't do shit for the Jets. He came out the first year and lasted no longer than, a quarter, and it broke his
I think it
ankle.
was like 4
and it was
snaps.
done.
His
And then
Achilles.
last year, he was healthy and didn't do anything.
Well, was
and
he
had his
healthy?
boy Devontae Adams, right? And they still couldn't connect. What the hell's that guy got left? So don't start talking to me about comparison between their careers and who's got a better career. We're talking 2025, September 5th. What is it? September
September
7th.
What? Today's the 5th.
Today's the 5th, but we're talking September 7th,
Okay.
Sunday.
Yeah.
What are they going to do then?
But they're also playing the Jets.
I know.
Let's not forget that.
I know, but I'm not.
It's not like they're playing the Eagles or anything.
Well, the Jets might be the only win on the Steelers calendar. We'll see what they're going to do. I do like, I have to say, in all seriousness, there's a lot that I like about the Steelers this year. I like what they're doing with their defense. They've got cornerbacks locked down. They have a lot of good talent there. Watt's still there, right?
Yeah.
So they should be, that's the thing. If Rodgers could give them anything, they should theoretically
how
make
bad
the
do
playoffs.
you think Aaron Rodgers wants to stick it to the entire Jets organization? Because what was it? Even the owner,
Do you think
like,
he's mad at the Jets?
yeah,
Like,
but
what's
the
he want
owner
to stick
did
to the
something like
Jets?
really shady, like totally called him out at one point.
Yeah, but
And I
like,
forget what it was, but
like you feel
Aaron
like you want
Rodgers
to
is that
call
dude,
him out,
right?
But, yeah, but you feel like you're gonna want to call him out if they really wronged you. Like what I feel like more so Aaron Rodgers wronged the Jets.
Well, I
Like,
don't
what did he
think-
do? He didn't do anything. He didn't win football games. That's what he
But
was
do
brought
you
there to
think
do.
that Aaron Rodgers wants his legacy to be like that? That's the end of his career? Ends like that? No.
Absolutely, I don't think. Nor do I think Russell Wilson wants to have his career legacy be
And honestly,
what it
like,
is in
nobody
the
even
last 3
wanted
years.
Aaron Rodgers, right? So,
I'll believe it when I see it. I'm taking the Jets.
well, here's the bottom line.
Home dog.
Here's the bottom line. If Aaron Rodgers can't win this game, then he's done.
This game?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you're not going to give the guy, if you're that big of a Rodgers fan, wouldn't
I'm
you
not
give him
a big
little bit
Rodgers
of
fan.
Well, wouldn't you give him a little bit of slack? It's the first game in a new offense. Like, you can't really say,
No.
win this game and you're done. But I agree. I'm not trying to argue against you because I think that he has to, first of all, prove it if they're going to get any kind of momentum or support in backing him, especially in selections this year, like picking the Pittsburgh Steelers to cover games. But I'm not coming out of the gate picking them. You know, they're going into a bad situation where they're on the road and they're favored.
But wait a minute. Who's your pick on the game?
The Jets.
Because it was...
Just relax.
Okay. All right. So we're on the opposite side of that one. All right. Next game
Don't steal my notes.
is the
That's why you're picking
Raiders.
games decently, because you just keep looking over at my picks.
Hey, I wrote all this
Let's
out
see what you pick when you
long
pick
before
your
you
own.
did. Raiders at the Patriots. I'm curious what your thought is on this one. Patriots are 2.5 point favorites. So we have Mike. I never figure out how to say his last name. Like, are you supposed to say the R? Is it Vrabel? Or is it
Vrabel?
Grable? But I don't think it
Vrabel.
is. It starts with a V. So it's Vrabel, right?
Yeah.
I've always been a big fan of Mike Vrabel. I don't think he got near enough credit in Tennessee, which I know you're going to disagree with that statement, and it just proves my point. Nobody gives him any credit for what he did there.
And nobody likes Mike Vrabel.
He is
He's the most popular coach in the league.
No, I didn't say they didn't like him. I said they didn't give him credit. But he is a leader of men type of coach, which I think honestly is the only quality you really need as a head coach in the NFL. And he's definitely, I don't know if you've seen any of his press conferences, but he's doing his best Bill Belichick in these press conferences. I do have a trivia question for you on this game. Do you know who the offensive coordinator for the Raiders is?
Yes, and this is going to go right down into number 3 of people I'm not backing because they prove that they can't do shit in the NFL is Chip Kelly.
Okay.
Because he's the offensive coordinator on the Raiders, and he is number 3 on my list. And I don't know if we're going to talk about any other ones, but there you got Russell Wilson, you got Aaron Rodgers, and now Chip Kelly has been brought back by Pete Carroll to run the offense at the Raiders. Now, let me tell you what seems more of like, let's put on a show, right? It's glamour time than hiring Chip Kelly as the offensive coordinator in Las Vegas. Like, that's the only way that he would get a job. He didn't do shit in UCLA when he was the head coach there. He didn't do anything, obviously in the rest of the league. Once they figured out his offense and how to stop it, he can't do anything against it. So I think this is a BS move by the Raiders just to sell tickets and to bring the show in.
Who cares about Chip Kelly?
Clearly the Raiders do. They hired him. I thought that he'd be out of the league and should never been brought back. He went out and coached college, should have never been brought back. Now he's going on the yo-yo. This is the only team that probably would have given him a job just to try to go with that Showtime we're in Vegas, right? Let's ladies kicking their legs. So it's bullshit. This guy, he's got Geno Smith brought here back in.
Yeah, well.
Because Pete Carroll has confidence in him to be able to implement his offense in the first year. Geno Smith's no good.
No. Okay. I agree
and Chip Kelly's no good either. So to answer your first question, when you told me you were going to let me go first.
I didn't say I was going to let you go first. I said I was curious what your pick was going to be.
The pick is the Patriots here.
Thank you. And just one interesting side note. I don't know if you...
It's 2.5 right now, so hopefully it stays under 3.
I don't know if you... well, first question is, did you know that Chip Kelly was the offensive coordinator before you read my sheet? You probably never read my sheet. Okay. I'm just curious. Because I was surprised when I saw that.
Why would I read
didn't
your sheet?
know that.
I don't want to be biased.
No, my notes, my changes.
Oh, I got them.
The handy dandy. You didn't read it. I know you didn't.
So what? You had that down as your trivia question?
No, that was my trivia question because I didn't know it when I found it. So I was curious whether you knew it or not. But then I realized they gave you the sheet that I put it on, and I was like, well, now I'm not going to know whether he knew or he read it. So,
well, it's weird what's going on. I mean, like Tom Brady's part owner here, right?
Yeah, kind of lost a little respect, maybe.
A little bit of conflict of interest there, right? And he's broadcasting games. He's broadcasting this year, right?
I don't understand that whole thing, but yeah.
Well, they don't want biasness in the broadcast.
Well, I think it's more like the back, like whatever you call it.
Well, for him to be able to do his job as a broadcaster,
shaking hands.
Yeah, well, for him to do his job effectively as a broadcaster, he has side meetings before he broadcasts games, right? So he gets intimate knowledge and ability to ask questions to other teams' personnel that other owners wouldn't be in a position to do.
Yeah, but they said he's not allowed to be in the normal production meetings because of that.
Okay.
But anyway, all right, side note. So, and just one other thing I did want to mention, I don't know if you saw this, but Amari Cooper retired yesterday.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so he was supposed to be on the Raiders, and he just up and retired.
Oh, that shows you what a shit show it is.
Well, that's what I'm wondering. Like, is that why?
Probably.
It's like something you didn't like. I mean, not that, I don't know, maybe just washed up anyway, didn't do anything for the Bills.
Either that or is the 5th string
Although
receiver.
I kind of thought the Browns maybe should have brought him back.
5th string receiver catching balls from Geno Smith. That would make me retire too.
Yeah. Well, he should have gone back to the Browns while he can, while Flacco's at the helm.
I guess they don't want him.
Well, those two had a good chemistry going. But all right, moving on. So we're on the same side of that one.
I was just curious, like, why he just fell off the face of the earth with Buffalo. I thought he was going to do really good with Buffalo, and he just never did anything.
That's kind of the way it goes, right?
You lose it, right?
Yeah.
You lose it just like that, and you're
But there
done.
is something to be said for chemistry.
Yeah, but if you can't run anymore, can't get open.
All right. So next game is the Cardinals at the Saints. Cardinals are 6.5-point favorites. The Saints are going to have Spencer Rattler at quarterback.
Oh, God.
I have zero expectations for the Saints. But there's just last year, Bengals lost to the Patriots week 1. There's always that week 1 game that takes out a large chunk in your survivor pool. I don't see that it could be this game, but anytime you say there's no way in the NFL, there's a way. So I don't really see the Saints' path to victory or even covering up to a touchdown. But I don't trust Kyler Murray on the road week 1 either. So I'm not touching this game.
Well, I mean, I feel like we're thinking the exact same way, right? Like, I want a reason to go against the Cardinals here, especially on the road, favored by 6.5, but it's the Saints. So what I would tell you, I would pause for a second, regardless of what I'm about to say. This is the type of game it tells you to take the Saints. Like, nobody's going to take the Saints. Nobody likes the Saints here. The quarterback sucks. It's Rattler, right? You do have a motivated head coach for his first game ever as a head coach.
I don't know.
But other than that, I mean, other than Rattler, I mean, you're still looking at maybe 3 years ago, a strong team, but like Alvin Kamara, right? Olave.
Yeah, but he's getting a little long in the tooth, ain't he?
Did you know that Brandon Cooks is a receiver back on the Saints now?
If you looked at my little list, you would know it too.
Did you know that that's where he's drafted?
Yeah, I remember Brandon Cooks from the
Like
Saints.
20th overall, yeah.
He's been around. I'm surprised he's still in the league because he had his bell rung quite a few times.
Well, like then you look at the other side, like the big acquisition for Arizona was Zay Jones, right? Zay Jones has been in the league since, 2016. His best year was 2022. He had 823 yards receiving when he was on Jacksonville.
Yeah, but they have Olave, and if he stays healthy, he's a good receiver. They have Rashid Shaheed, who had, at least last year briefly, showed himself to be a very good downfield threat. Now, I don't know if Spencer Rattler can get the ball there, but
that's great. But I was talking about Zay Jones on the Cardinals, and my point was that I don't know, like I'm not confident, like you said, in Murray either. And Zay Jones is going to be the one guy that you're looking at to throw the ball to. I think they're in trouble.
Well, they have
Obviously,
Marvin Harrison Jr. They have Trey McBride.
Yeah, exactly. Those are the guys that I do like. So we'll see. That's why they're favored by 6.5. But I want to take the Cards here, but the Saints is like the move. Like it's not a sexy pick. Nobody's going to take them. Nobody's really going to like them, and they're probably going to cover the game.
Yeah. Well, and we'll get to the other one of these too. So, all right. So, are you taking the Cards or you're not taking the Cards? You're not taking the Cards?
I'm going to take the Saints.
Really?
I'm going to play the Saints. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
It's just I don't know, how can you love Arizona on the road? I know the Saints suck, right? But it's the NFL.
Yeah.
There's talent on the field, and 6.5 Arizona. I think it's just too much of a task to ask in week 1.
All right. Next game is the Bengals at the Browns. Bengals are 5.5 point favorites. This is a division game. The Browns are starting Joe Flacco in this game. Do you have any rant you want to go on about Joe Flacco?
I mean, obviously he's a blue hen.
Oh, so we still like Joe Flacco?
Oh, we still love Joe Flacco.
Oh, God. Okay,
Joe
great.
Flacco's got it, and they got a good team down there in Cleveland. They're probably underrated, and people are overlooking them.
I kind of feel like Joe Flacco is kind of the same as Russell Wilson. Like he can come in and win 4 games, and then he's gonna fall on his face. But I'm only worried about this game. So.
He is old, but I feel like Joe Flacco still got it together. He still has an arm. And that's part of the problem now, right? Like Aaron Rodgers used to be the gun-slinging quarterback, and he doesn't have as much mustard on the ball. I'm not sure if Joe Flacco's lost anything. I'm sure he's lost a little bit, but Joe Flacco has a hose. He's got a cannon. I do like the Browns here. I mean, they just you're going to put Joe Flacco up against probably the worst defense in the league. Yes. I'm going to take Joe Flacco almost every time.
Joe Flacco also had a very good connection with David Njoku, the tight end. So I will be playing some props on Njoku. And the Bengals have historically started slow. At least the past 3 seasons, they have started 0-2. So, okay, we're on the same side.
Yeah, exactly. That's a great point. 0-2 the last 3 seasons.
And I don't think they tend to blow teams out either. They kind of get in these close games. So
well, they can't because they can't hold anybody out of the end zone.
Right. And at the Browns, defense is good. I think they are better at home. So this game is in Cleveland. All right, next game is the Dolphins at the Colts. Colts are 1.5 point favorites. So Dolphins are essentially the same team they were last year. They did lose Teron Armstead on their offensive line. So that does worry me a little bit because Tua does need some protection. I also fear that there could be some dysfunction in the Dolphins locker room. However, we have Daniel Jones starting at quarterback on the other side. I'm going to stick with my approach on the Dolphins that I've taken the past 2 years, is that they can beat up on bad teams, but they can't compete against the good ones. So I am going to take the Dolphins.
You're calling the Colts a bad one, huh?
Yes, I think so. Oh, and
Just remember this. This is a brand new season.
Colts have not won a week 1 game since 2013.
I feel like this is bet number 2. I like Daniel Jones. I know you said you didn't like Daniel Jones before, and obviously, hey, what is there to like? He doesn't have a
I didn't say I don't like Daniel Jones.
You made a couple like derogatory comments about Daniel Jones, especially when we were, when we were talking about the Giants playing the Commanders and Russell Wilson much better than Daniel Jones. I think that he did. Wilkin hit. And the great thing is that there's that little red button up there on that camera. It means it's recorded and we can go back and look at it because you've made 2 references to Daniel Jones now before this.
I maybe said Russell Wilson is better than Daniel Jones, but I didn't say I don't like Daniel Jones.
So Daniel Jones, I think, is we're talking about Rodgers in Pittsburgh and Russell Wilson in the Giants. What I'm most interested in, more than those two, almost. I mean, who can't be interested in that to see how it's going to turn out? But almost more than. I think this is different. Where I differ from some people is a lot of people. I like Daniel Jones. I think Daniel Jones in this offense is going to be successful. I'm really high on Shane Steichen, the Colts coach, right? We got a chance to see him lead the Eagles to the Super Bowl in 2022, and he was really good at calling plays
since he left.
He's very good with, listen, this is a quarterback league, as you know, and their quarterback, Richardson, has been hurt for the majority of the time last year. He was coming in like hobbling at practice, and then even the games that he would play, he wasn't at 100%. My point is that Shane Steichen is good at calling plays and running an offense around a mobile quarterback like he did with Jalen Hurts. And Daniel Jones is very similar to that standpoint, that he can run and he can throw, and he can throw on the run. So I'm looking for some good things out of Daniel Jones. If they can keep guys like Jonathan Taylor, right, and Michael Pittman Jr. healthy on the field, he's got a good supporting cast. So he has the opportunity. They got Josh Downs as a bright, he had a great year last year.
I'm not sure they have a good offensive line in front of him, though. Well,
that's always the question mark. If you can't keep people out of the backfield, then you're going to have trouble.
Then quarterbacks like Daniel Jones make mistakes.
Well, when we saw how that turned out in New York, right? So we'll see if they can protect Daniel and keep guys out. He does have the speed that's going to allow him to rush a little bit or to scramble and avoid some of that, but he can't consistently not block defensive ends and expect Daniel Jones to be successful. But I think I'm going to give the Colts, I'm more positive, I'm more hot on the Colts as a team all around than I am on Pittsburgh or the New York Giants when we're just talking about wins and losses and who's going to have a more successful year. So I like the Colts here. I like the Colts. I'll take them over the Dolphins. You got bet number 2 for you and me? You said you liked the Dolphins. You didn't say much, but you liked the Dolphins. All right.
All right. Next game is the Bucks at the Falcons. Bucks are 1.5 point favorites. This is a division game. And since Baker, I was actually surprised at this. Since Baker took over for the Bucks, the Falcons are 3-1 versus the Bucks. They won last year, both matchups. The first one I remember, it was the overtime win. It was like a weird thing happened at the end. So they won 36-30 and 31-26. High scoring games, huh? So my initial pick would have been the Bucks, but the fact that the Falcons have dominated this matchup has me concerned. So I'm not going to touch it.
You're going to lay off?
Yeah.
So I'll tell you one big disappointment that I've had so far this year, and the season hasn't even started yet, is my lack in ability to be able to draft Michael Penix Jr. in any of my fantasy leagues. And I went into each draft thinking that's the guy I'm going to take at like last round or second to last round. I'm going to stash him. Maybe pick a quarterback early and then come back to him and only carry 2 guys. I had a lot of my strategy in my head was around Michael Penix Jr. I like him. I think he's going to do well. I liked him when he was at Washington. Of course, that doesn't mean that he's going to be successful in Atlanta, but they think he's good enough that they're starting him over Kirk Cousins, and I think it's the right move. You got Bijan Robinson, a running back. Obviously, he's got a chance to be one of the best running backs in the league. Right? Drake London as receiver. Darnell Mooney. Coming over from the Bears. He's questionable, but I think he's going to play. Drake London scored a lot of touchdowns last year. Ray McLeod III. I like some Ray.
Oh, I forgot. Kyle Pitts, who we've been waiting, 4 or 5 years to
but now he's Kyle Pitts
become
Senior.
that
So maybe
awesome
he's gonna be a
tight end
player.
he was supposed to be. I don't know. Too many question marks there.
A lot of question marks. I'm very interested to see Michael Penix
I was
Jr.
curious. I
this
didn't
year.
know if Kirk Cousins was the backup or what.
He's still there.
Okay.
Because remember last year, that was the whole thing. It was like you have Kirk Cousins and you just paid him a lot of money because he finally got that big contract. Remember, he was going year to year to year. Atlanta gave him the contract, and then they went ahead and drafted Michael Penix in the first round anyway because they had a new coach. Well,
I don't know. Cousins kind of like Rodgers. Like, he wasn't himself last year. Was he just not fully recovered? That's what you got to wonder. So who knows? But I guess we'll find out.
it's funny. He finally gets the longer term contract, gets paid the money. But then the team drafts a first-round quarterback. So what does that got to put your head mentally, right? You can't necessarily think that your team is sold on you as the future when they go ahead and draft a first-round quarterback.
Well, that's true.
Who knows? It could be injury. It could have been
Kirk Cousins always was a little getting his head too much, man.
He's definitely a head case.
All right, moving on. Next game is the Titans at the Broncos. Broncos, this did go up from 7.5, which is what you have written down, to 8.5. Now the Titans are starting Cam Ward at quarterback. So this is a rookie in his first start. I'm not sure Mile High against a very good defense is a good spot to start. Now, the Titans last year were 2-15 against the spread. That was Will Levis and his interesting turnovers in a lot of ways. But and this is the other game when we talked about the Cardinals Saints. This is the other one. And I almost feel like I'm going to think in my head it's going to be the Cardinals game, but it's going to be this game. Like, Titans are going to fucking finish within the 8.5 at least. But I like the Broncos, and I'm going to pick the Broncos. But I could totally see this going the opposite way.
I don't know how you could go Cam Ward in his first game. I mean, I'm not that in love with Cam Ward.
I would love it if it was Will Levis. It'd be great, but
yeah.
I mean, who knows?
I mean, listen, I think the Broncos are like getting ready to kick some serious ass this year. I mean, Sean Payton is a legitimate coach, obviously. It's taken him a little bit of time to get his system in, but now he's got Bo Nix playing pretty well. He was firing the ball around the second half of the season last year, both running and throwing touchdowns galore. So I love Bo Nix this year. He's throwing to Evan Ingram. They brought him in as tight end. He should be pretty decent. But they have the initial running backs.
But the running back situation.
J.K. Dobbins and R.J. Harvey. They should be a formidable tandem there in Denver. As you really think about it, you can get 2 workhorse running backs going in Denver with that high altitude. That should be a huge advantage as they can rotate those guys, prevent them from getting too exhausted. When teams come in there, they're not used to playing in that high altitude and they get tired quick. They're going to run all over a lot of teams, especially at home. And this is a home game.
This R.J. Harvey is a rookie, right?
Yeah. Yep. And he looks really good.
Yeah,
That's very explosive. I didn't know it went up to 8.5. That's not going to change my pick. I don't know how you can. You got to kind of watch Cam Ward and see what you got. Like, I'm not trying to tell you he's going to stink all season. He's obviously very high draft
the Titans.
pick,
who is Ridley a Titan? Yeah. So it's Ridley,
receiver.
Lockett, and Van Jefferson.
Yeah, not names that are going to get you going crazy at receiver.
So, yeah. Tony Pollard at running back.
We got Pollard and is it Dowdell?
Huh?
Dowdell, is that who's there? The running back from the Cowboys.
Oh, Rico Dowdle, yeah, from the Cowboys. That never in a million years. Dowdle, yeah, Rico. But yeah, so okay, you got a pick on this game. You're on the Broncos.
Yes.
All right. So next game is the 49ers at the Seahawks. Now this was 2.5 in favor of the 49ers. Now it's down to 1.5. And I think I have a sneaky suspicion I know why. This is a division game. Since 2022, the Hawks only have won once against the 49ers. It was the last game, second game of last season. They won 20-17 in San Francisco. Now, the 49ers did let Debo go. Brandon Ayuk, I guess, is on injured reserve, though.
Yeah.
Jawan Jennings is questionable, I believe. So their receiving core.
Ricky Pearsall. That's the new name. I mean, he's the guy that got stabbed in downtown San Francisco because the great people of San Francisco are lovely.
And they got MVS.
Yeah.
Oh, and they got Demarcus Robinson from the Rams, but he's suspended. So that worries.
Know why?
Do I know why?
Yeah.
No, I don't know. I didn't look that far. So the other side of this, though, is, well, the other thing to mention about the 49ers and perhaps the reason for the change in line was that on Wednesday, CMC popped up as limited, I guess, at practice with a calf issue. And he did not practice today, I believe. So although I did see a report that he said he feels great and he's playing week 1, but last year they kind of it was just kind of strange the way they ruled him out. But I don't think that he's 100%. I don't think he's going to make it through this season. So I think the 49ers might be in a little bit of trouble. However, on the other side, we have Sam Darnold starting for the Seahawks. Now, Darnold was with the 49ers at some point as a backup, I believe. So that would give Shanahan some familiarity with him. The other issue is that he did look better in Minnesota last year. But Minnesota has a good offensive line. The Seahawks, I believe, last year had one of the worst offensive lines in the NFL. They did not do much to improve it. And Sam Darnold behind a really bad offensive line is not going to be good. So 49ers were a team that I used to love to bet on. Last year, they let me down repeatedly. I wouldn't be surprised if it happens here with the different situations going on, but I'm going to give them a shot here. And I'm going to go 49ers.
You had me back and forth on that one. I didn't know where you were going at the end there. I'm going San Fran as well. I'm very high on San Fran this year. I like Christian McCaffrey. I think he's going to have a successful year.
Do you?
He did come out today just recently and say that, everything's fine. It's not that serious and that he feels great heading into the game Sunday. So I don't think there's a big deal with his ankle.
It's not his ankle, it's his calf.
Oh, his calf.
The same thing that held him out of majority of last season.
Yeah, he said it's not a big deal. I don't think that he would say anything if it was.
Well, yeah,
so
probably gonna try.
I don't think it's going to be an issue. I like San Fran here. I know they're on the road in the division matchup. I like the fact that it went down to 1.5. I don't like the fact that I don't like Seattle's. I don't like the fact that Seattle's going with Sam Darnold.
I thought you liked Darnold.
I do, but I don't think that was the right move for the Seahawks. But I don't think he's going to be as successful. I mean, but he was pretty good last year. I don't think he has enough talent around him there that he can be that good. He had a lot of talent around him in Minnesota. He could plug and play, and he could be efficient enough. And I think that to think that he's going to carry a team with less talent, which Seattle is, I don't see it. I know they got a Charbonneau right, as their backup running back, and Walker the third is their starting running back. I like both of those guys in theory.
Yeah.
But they don't stay healthy.
They got that Jackson Smith Najigba, who was pretty good last year.
He's a good receiver out of Ohio State.
And they got Cooper Kupp, right? Is that where Cooper Kupp went? Now I do think Cooper Kupp's washed, but
yeah, Cooper Kupp is washed. And San Fran went out and traded for Sky Moore from the Chiefs because of the Demarcus Robinson suspension. Demarcus Robinson was suspended for substance abuse, by the way.
Okay. Yeah, and okay.
Which basically means he got caught doing coke.
Well, couldn't it be performance enhancing drugs?
I don't think they usually say substance abuse there.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
They say performance
Violation
enhancing
of the whatever
kinda terminology.
policy. Okay. All right. So we're on the same side of that one. That makes me happy. Okay. Next game is the Lions at the Packers. Packers are 2.5-point favorites. This is also a division game, and also since 2022, Green Bay only has one win against the Lions. That was in 2023. Now, the Lions have had probably one of the best offensive lines in the NFL in the past couple of years. However, they did lose two of their offensive linemen to retirement. Then we also have the Packers obviously adding Micah Parsons, and I kind of feel like they added him just to get the Goff, right? Because aren't the Lions the ones that are standing in the Packers' way to a division win?
Yes, they're in the same division.
And I mean, it is Jared Goff. Like, I think we've probably been kind of waiting for him to turn into a pumpkin. So I think they're taking their shot. Now, the Lions have lost their offensive
Why do
coordinator.
you say that? Why do you say they're waiting for him to turn into a pumpkin? You don't like Jared Goff?
I do like Jared Goff, but I think that Jared...
He's a perfect fit in that offense. He's a perfect fit for that city and that team.
And he's also a very good quarterback behind a good offensive line. And if your offensive line isn't what it was, and now you have a really good pass rusher on the other side, that could be problematic, right?
It could, absolutely. If you can't stop defensive ends from getting to your quarterback, any quarterback's going to struggle.
Well, some more than others. So now they lost their offensive coordinator. They lost their defensive coordinator. I don't know, like, is David Montgomery good? Because he had a pretty bad injury. I don't know exactly where he stands in this whole thing. And the simple fact that, number one, we have the Lions as a dog, right? And this is the only game when I looked up the money percentages earlier. Most of them were actually pretty, like, close. But the 79% of the bets, 94% of the money is on the Lions. So this feels like total fool's gold right now. I am going to pick the Lions, but I'm worried about it.
Wow, I didn't know that you said that. I didn't know that that was the case about the public betting on this game. That's insane. 94% of the
doesn't
cash.
it make sense though? Like,
yeah, because I like it too.
Lions as a dog, right?
I like it too.
All day.
Don't you like it?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah,
Until I see that. So
it's bet percentage and money percentage, yeah.
yeah. And most of them are pretty like
70, 80%. I mean, this is making me want to say Green Bay.
yeah, I agree.
And they're all juiced up because they got Micah Parsons.
Well, okay, so here's-
even though Micah Parsons might not be
Here's a
totally
question.
familiar with the playbook,
Here's a question. Let me ask the
it's
question.
bringing them juice.
But okay, so I've heard like two different views. Like, because he just came and he's not familiar with the playbook, is he going to play? But then other people's like, he's a pass rusher. You just send him at the quarterback. Like, he doesn't have to know.
The second part,
Okay.
he's going to play.
But is he going to play like as much as he would normally play? Or is he going to play like half of what he would normally play?
So I don't know the exact answer to that, right? But I would say yes, he's not going to play as much as he normally would play if he was on this team for a year, right? Mm-hmm. There's going to be situations where they pull him out, but it's not going to be many. It's not going to be half. Like, you're just going to put that guy down at the end and be like, go get the quarterback, especially in these early games. You don't need him dropping back in coverage and, covering the back third of the field and doing tricky things like that. Mm-hmm. You don't need him playing linebacker and, trying to follow the tight end down the field.
Okay.
You're just going to send him at the quarterback and try to disturb Goff as much as possible. And like you alluded to, kind of laughed at it a little bit with Goff and not liking Goff, but like you pressure Goff and he can be pressured, he's going to wilt. Like there's probably nobody in this league that goes from like high ceiling to low floor. If you can get a hand in the face, he goes from, a championship style quarterback and get you to the Super Bowl down to a guy that should be a third stringer quickly. If you can put a little pressure on Jared Goff, he's not the toughest guy in the league.
Right. Okay.
I'm going to stick with the Lions because they're underdogs, and I don't know. I mean, it's just they built up such that coach and that team. I know they've changed coordinators, right? Aaron Glenn's now in New York, back to where he played. So they have a new defensive coordinator, and their offensive coordinator finally left and did get a job. He's in Chicago, right? Mm-hmm. So that's the biggest problem now is that they have a different coordinator on both sides of the ball. So I can see where you take Green Bay. At the end of the day on this one, it's tough to take this game. I mean, you got two good teams. Maybe take the over and watch it. Mm-hmm. But officially my pick is Detroit.
Okay. Yep. All right. I'm doing the same thing, but don't say I didn't warn you. All right. Next
be
game
careful. Go with
is
caution.
the Texans at the Rams. Rams are 3-point favorites. Now this is like the Rams. I feel like I always get them wrong. Interesting thing. D'Amico Ryans was the defensive coordinator for the San Francisco 49ers before he took the head coaching job with the Texans. So he is familiar with McVay, and Shanahan always kind of owned McVay. So Ryans may have played a part in that. Texans are without Joe Mixon at running back, and I feel like he was kind of really important to them.
He was really good, but then he started to get banged up at the end of last year.
And
he struggled to
also
win games.
Tank Dell is not there.
Trivia question. Do you know who the starting running back of the Houston Texans is without Joe Mixon there?
It's Nick Chubb.
It is Nick Chubb.
Yeah. And then they have Damian Pierce. It's on my notes.
Is Nick Chubb healthy enough to make a difference?
Well, I don't think that he is. So
let's remember that injury that he got against Pittsburgh that pretty much sealed the deal out of Cleveland was very, very serious.
It was a bad injury. I mean, he's got to be getting up there too, right? He feels like he's been around for a while. And when he did play he came back at some point last year for the Browns, and he was just completely ineffective. So I don't really expect much there. So, yeah, I mean, I was going to go with the Texans, but I'm laying off this game.
He's 30.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's 29. He'll be 30 in December 27th. So, I mean, that's usually where they tell you that you're going to go backwards. But he's got a little wear and tear over the last year and a half, last 2 years, right? Because he's been nursing himself back from injury. But like any of these major injuries.
Well, I don't even think that was like his first major injury, though, either. I feel like he had a bad injury before. So, all right. I don't know. But you got to pick on the game. I don't know how long we've been at this.
I'm going Texans. But real quickly, I'll just tell you, CJ Stroud is where I'm looking at this year. I know that he had a step back year last year after his very successful rookie campaign. This is him going into the third year now. I'm looking for big things out of him and the Texans. I love the head coach. We talked about him earlier. Miko Ryans is a great football mind. Hopefully Nick Chubb can do something. They got Christian Kirk as well.
He's not playing,
from
though,
Jacksonville. He's not playing. All right, so that's not going to be great. Nico is playing, right?
Yeah, Nico's good.
And then Tank, I think, is not playing.
He's not playing all year.
Yeah. All right. I'll take the Texans, though. I like them over the Rams.
Okay. I was just trying to see who else the Texans have.
I want to see what Stafford's going to do. I don't feel like Stafford is going to be relevant anymore, but we'll see what he does, if he's got anything left in the tank.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Next game is the Ravens at the Bills. Ravens are 1.5-point favorites. Now, last year, these teams played twice. They played in the regular season, and the Ravens absolutely dominated the Bills in that game, 35-10. They played again in the playoffs, and that was a very close game. Bills ultimately won that game 27-25, but that was the game where Andrews dropped the touchdown pass in the end zone. So they would have pulled out the victory in that one otherwise. Ravens have kind of been billed as that team that play great in the regular season and then just can't get it done in the playoffs. So I think that this is going to be a Ravens win.
I'm on the other side. I don't know why the Bills are underdogs at home against the Ravens. It's only 1.5, so it's not that big of a deal. But look for the Bills here to come out firing in the 2025 campaign.
I don't know how the Bills did as good as they did last year because they have no receivers.
Well, once again, they have no receivers.
I know, but that's what I'm saying.
James Cook.
Taking the Ravens because I don't know.
James Cook ran the ball effectively,
only
but
do
he
it
also
so
did
long.
really good receiving the ball out of the backfield. And let's just be honest, Josh Allen is a freak of nature. So if he's going to stay healthy and have another great season like he did last year, they're going to be contenders for the Super Bowl again. I like the Bills.
Okay. All right. And then the final game is the Monday night game. Vikings at Bears. This is a division game. JJ McCarthy is going to be the starting quarterback for the Vikings. Jordan Addison, the number 2 receiver there, is suspended as well, I believe. So he's not playing. Now, Ben Johnson has taken over as the head coach for the Bears. These guys have and then Flores,
Where's
obviously.
Ben Johnson from?
Detroit. And then we have Flores, who I give a lot of credit to Brian Flores. I think he's an awesome defensive coordinator. But these guys do have familiarity with each other because what we just said. So there's way too many questions in this game. And then you put on top of it the fact that it's a fucking Monday night game. And I don't want anything to fucking do with it.
Oh, 2 F-bombs in about 5 seconds. Win for us. I love it.
I don't see you got anything circled over there.
Well, the fucking Bears, baby. That's who I like. The fucking Bears. All right. I'm going with Ben Johnson because I think, teams have been waiting to hire him out of Detroit. I think he should get a lot of credit for the success that Detroit's had over the last 3 years.
See, I'm really starting to feel like Detroit's gone down this year, man.
Yeah,
Ben Johnson's going to fuck with Dan Campbell every way he can. He's going to fuck with Jared Goff because he knows exactly what to do to get to him.
I like it. Caleb Williams, too. Caleb Williams probably a better quarterback than Jared Goff, right? So it'd be nice to see what Ben Johnson can do with him. He's throwing to DJ Moore, right? Rome Odunze.
Wow, you got that one pretty close.
I like it. And Loveland is their tight end who people are expecting he's a young guy, so we don't know much about him other than he has the talent and he's getting put into a position to be the starting tight end on this offense that Sam Laporta just pretty much built his career off of after the last 3 seasons in the same system. So I like Loveland. I like the Bears. I don't like the Vikings. I don't like JJ McCarthy. He's going to have to prove it to me. He didn't do anything last year because he was injured the entire time. This is the quarterback from Michigan that won the national championship. So you got, JJ McCarthy coming back from injury. You got Michael Penix Jr. on Atlanta who's getting the starting reins. So those 2 guys faced off against each other 2 years ago in a national championship game for college. Be interesting to see if these guys, if their game can translate onto the NFL stage. But for this week, I don't like JJ McCarthy going up against the Bears and Ben Johnson's debut. I don't think anything's going to spoil Ben Johnson's debut as the Bears get a win on Monday Night fucking Football, baby. Let's go. Married with Picks, season 6, episode 1 of the season. That's a wrap, baby.
All right, peace out.